Good morning, Astrolifers. So I'm doing the second part of 2020 and also talking about the weekly updates. So I was going to do it yesterday and I was working on the planners of the elites because I'm doing their personal planner and everything to make sure they're extremely successful in the next couple of years. And as I was doing that, my light bulb in my office broke down. So I was like, okay, well, that's the end of it. I will have to go to the shops and get a new light bulb today. So it was just a little bit too dark. So that's it. So yes, there is still room. A lot of people have been asking me, are there still rooms in the elite group? Yes, there is. I've been running a lot of interviews, but I'm being quite fussy on that one. The reason being is that it is the last group I'm going to be choosing. So the last 10 people, there's already 3 of them that have been chosen. They already are into the third group. But because they are going to be my last 10 people, I'm trying to really choose the right ones. It's just because I don't really want to take more than that because I want the results and we will get the results because I'm going to mentor them on everything. So yes, they get their charts involved in it. Obviously, I look after them for everything, from making sure they do things at the good times, that they have minimum two passive incomes, because the whole point is to make them very successful but also very, very rich, and making sure that everything is there from the right products, and obviously everything around them, from family issues to anything. I look after them, and that's what I'm going to be focusing on for the next couple of years. So I'm still choosing. If you're interested, just write down and we'll have an interview. We'll talk about it. I will have to shut them down. But the stars are excellent for the moment, so it's still fine. And yes, it is very affordable compared to the value and what I give. Extremely affordable because they are my first groups. Obviously, it's like a little bit like the reading. I started the reading, I think I was 100 or 175, and now the minimum is 350. So when you start, prices are still very affordable, and after that, once you can prove that you've got the good results, the prices always go up, and that's the way it goes in business most of the time, even though I'm always very affordable with what I give and the value. Okay, so the monthly updates. I'm going to show you a little bit today what it's all about, because for the moment, everyone that was having a reading with me will have the 3 monthly updates. So all the ones that already had a reading, obviously, they're still going to get that. But all the others are like, okay, well, hang on. If you stop doing the charts, the one-on-one, how are we going to get that those monthly updates if we want to be organized and organize the month ahead or the weeks ahead? Because there's going to be not only the monthly updates, but I will break it down in weeks as well. You can have that. Also the same, tell me that you are interested, and there will be a monthly fee, and you will have that, and the weekly as well, so you can really organize yourself. So that's going to be all broken down. So we are changing the way we are working, as you are understanding. So just write it down, say, look, I'm interested into the weekly forecast or the monthly forecast, and then you will get them every month. There's no problems. So that's what's coming up. So this month, what's coming up with this month and the stars? It's big. Obviously, we're starting, and that's why I keep on saying, plant the seeds, start. We've got many aspects. We've got 6 aspects in Capricorn. So since Christmas, it has been all, starting to move closer and closer. So it's the new moon, it's the sun, it's Jupiter. We've had a conjunction. It's still, you can still feel it, and it's still there. So it's, the sun and Jupiter being very, very close. There's Mercury, Saturn, Pluto, all that in earth signs, so it gives you the tone, straight up where we're going and what's happening in the next year, because Jupiter will be in Capricorn until the end of the year. So it's linked with the new moon. It's time to plant the seeds. It's time to put your projects. I know we're on holidays, but you know what? You want to make this year count. Start working, organize your year, break it down, be precise, know what you are doing. That's why I was working, all yesterday doing the planners for my elites and obviously for myself, because it's time to get organized. Okay, you want to know where you're going, you want to have the good dates for you for the year coming up, because you want to make the most out of it, and it's a year to really make it count. Remember, we are in 4. I talked about it yesterday. You are building the platform of your future. You are making it count until the end of your life. Okay, the aspects that we do have, if you play that year right, and yes, I can mentor you, and yes, I can help you. If you play that year right, in fact, the truth is that that year can bring you income and look after you until the end of your life. Okay, when you will retire, when you will be in old age, it's not a year to be missed. Okay, it's extremely important. It is the beginning of a new cycle with the rat, as I talked about yesterday. You don't want to be missing that one. Trust me on that one. Okay, that's why I did the group of the elites, and that's why I'm changing the way I'm working. There's a reason behind that, obviously. So yes, so we are going also this week coming up into hang on, I'm just going to put my piece of paper there. We are going towards a full moon lunar eclipse, and yes, it is a very nice one in that sense, you know, with it's a good time to go out, to join your friends and stuff like that. But there is a but. Saturn is going to be opposite Pluto, which that is going to force you to be very, very realistic. Not only very realistic, but because it is opposed, that full moon, it might actually even make people emotional. So a good time to join people that you do love, and yes, it's fine for romance and to have a good time, but you might have some news also about things that are, you know, forcing you to be very realistic. And again, we go back to that vibration that is, you know, Capricorn, because obviously those eclipses are Capricorn, Cancer, because there is Saturn, the you know, long-term realistic, and there is Pluto as well, which is also very important as far as career and work is concerned, because they're going to be opposed. You are going to be faced with reality. It's time to enjoy yourself, have that really nice time with your friends, but also be very, very realistic about your life and where you want to go and what you want to do. So you might feel emotional at that time, you know, having both, and that might be making you, yes, a little bit, you know, yeah, emotional, as I was saying. Okay, so then we've got a really, really nice aspect on the 15th. So I'm a little bit going a little bit further, where there's going to be Venus, Uranus that are going to be really, really nice. So that is going to be sparkling. So that's good because it surprises with romance. So again, another time. Actually, I'm going to give you the monthly updates. I'm going to go a little bit further today, just for you guys to understand what I do give every month, and to make sure that you understand how much content you can have and how much you can organize yourselves. So there's also going to be Venus and Neptune that are going to be conjunct, and very, very good aspect, making the weekend of the 25th, 26th outstanding. It's actually going to be starting on the 23rd of January, 23rd, 27th. That's going to be really, really nice aspect. So that's going to be good. And we will have also Venus linked with Jupiter around that time, which is going to make, especially around the 25th, 26th, yeah, it's going to be a beautiful weekend. But also on the first day, it might mean a very important meeting. Yeah? So keep that in mind, because it's going to be a very important day. Because with Venus and Jupiter, it can mean that you are finding the person of your life, or that you are finding the partner that you want to be working with, because Venus and Jupiter together, it's all about love, but it's very, very well aspected. So that's very, very nice. And then, yes, that being said, actually, we are going to have Venus that is shifting from the 13th of January, that is going to be in Pisces, until February the 7th. So it's going to make things very, very nice and beautiful. So we're starting the year with really, really awesome aspects, and that is absolutely amazing. So that is good. I give more content in the monthly updates when I send them to the people who had readings. It's normal, they've paid for it. Same if you get the monthly updates, and if you join, you know, those monthly updates, it's normal that I give more content. After all, they do pay for it. So, but it's just to give you a tone how you can organize yourself, because once you know that, you can say, right, okay, that weekend, I know it's important. One of the best meeting, or the person I want to be working with, I'm going to organize that meeting on that Thursday. You can really really start organizing your life, and that's what it's all going to be about. 2020 is being organized, because 2020 is all about that with Capricorn. Trust me on that. It's going to be being organized, planning, doing things at the right time. That's what it's going to be teaching us, especially with the Right of Metal behind. It's going to be very precise and organizing. So that's the year you want to have the updates, and you want to know where you're going. So it's very, very important to be able to plan and to know where you're going. Remember, it's long term as well. So it's very, very important. So the year 2020. So we are studying. Obviously, with January, we are studying with 6 aspects that started at the end of December in Capricorn. So it's very, very important. We are going to have some Mercury retrogrades, like your normal 3 times, and we will also have Mars and Venus retrograde. So a year to know how to navigate as well, because Mars at the end of the day is linked with the business. Venus as well. A lot of people say Venus, it's all about love and it's all about beauty. Yes, but it's also linked with money. Remember, she has the purse, she has the coins around her wrist, so it's very, very important. So most of 2020, as I was saying, Jupiter, Pluto, Saturn are going to be in Capricorn, and actually there's an aspect, and that is probably the most important aspect of 2020. If there is something to remember about that year, is going to be that Jupiter, Pluto, Saturn from March to December. I will explain that a little bit further. I know I can't explain too much on my videos because of the time frame, the length of my videos, but I'm going to do a workshop because I think it's quite important that some of you are ready. I'm going to actually do a workshop just on 2020. I'm going to organize a date today, and I will let you know. I do obviously the Chinese New Year, so I will talk a lot about 2020 in the Chinese New Year. If you can come over on that night, on the Wednesday 29th. But if you cannot join us, that's fine. I'm going to do a workshop I'm going to be doing, and the people overseas, yes, you will be able to participate to that workshop. There's no problems. There will just be a fee, and I will film it. But I'm going to talk about that in details, because it is really the aspect of 2020 to remember, and that is really from March to December. So now we're getting ready, we're planning, as I was talking about before, long term, and then after that, obviously, it will be putting everything in place and knowing how to deal with it between March and December. Now, the eclipses, most of them, and that will give actually big news, by the way. I said there will be big changes as far as the structures are concerned, the law, the institutions. That is during that time that you will see that. There will be news. I can promise you, in the world, there's going to be some changes, and there's going to be news, because a lot of things need to be changed in the world of the industries, in the world we are looking after. Oh, just a little bracket here. A lot of people have been asking me, look, those fires, we don't really believe it's just, natural disasters, and if it is man-made, and if it is for the right way, if it is for this and that. Trust me, whoever has done the wrong things, they will pay for it, because they're doing that with Saturn, with Jupiter in Capricorn. That means if people have done things like that were bad, it's going to follow them until the end of their lives, right? Okay, because that's what we're talking about. We're talking long term, so we can talk about the good things long term, but we can also talk about the bad things long term. Okay, so things, if they've been done wrong, karmically speaking, that's not going to be good for those people. I can promise you that, because that's a lot of land that has been burned, and that's a lot of wildlife, and it's affecting the world. At the end of the day, that many trees with the oxygen and everything is affecting everyone. So yes, so that's not that was not a good thing to do, that's for sure. So yes, so I was talking about the eclipses. So mainly the eclipses will be in Cancer, Capricorn, obviously this year. Then they will shift in Gemini, Sagittarius. Obviously, I will talk about that in my workshop about 2020. And yes, so the eclipses, like I was explaining yesterday or the day before, they're going to be in January and June, July, November and December. And yes, as I was saying, this year is all about project, being organized, taking action, having plans. It's extremely important. And then by the end of 2020 we will start shifting in Aquarius. That is also a time that you want to know what you're doing. The reason why those years are capital is not only we will be in the ox, the strongest animal, which is massive. It's all about industry, it's all about working, it's all about finishing to sit down everything that you will have started this year. But on the top of that, it's going to be in Aquarius, which is the era we are in for many, many, many years to come. We've started to be in that era when we were in the 60s, when there were the hippies, the revolution and all that of women and revolution of everything actually, and technology started and everything. So we are in that era, so you better know where you're going as well. So of course I will do another workshop where we'll talk about that and where we're going in 2021, well at the end of this year really technically, because it will be shifting at the end of this year. So these are years that are really, really important, simply because we are starting a new cycle, and because, as I said, it's all about longevity, making things into the end of your life, with the aspects in Capricorn, especially with Jupiter and Saturn that are there. But also after that, we will be going in 2021, well, at the end of, again, as I said, 2020, 2021, in finally Jupiter that will be in Aquarius, which is massive with what's coming up. I mean, it's huge. So I'm here. If you need any questions, if you want to have the monthly updates, if you want to join us, I'm going to put data there. That's what I've been working on yesterday, all the planners, not only for my elites, but also for all the events of Astro Live. Yes, still some room as well, but I will have to shut it this week. I have to, simply because of the organization, to come to Nouméa. And then after that, we will put on the walls all the events of 2020. So you will be able to join us. And the workshops, I know it's important for you guys who cannot come, who are overseas. There will be a way to be able to join us by paying a fee and participating with the camera into the room. So you will also be able to join us doing that, or buying the content. And then you will be able to obviously rewatch it if there is too much time difference. That's it. Thank you for listening. I see you soon. Bye, everyone. Have a nice week. Bye.